Let us go. I cannot wait any longer. I am hungry. Dulac!
It was a troll, was it not?
Oh!
I oft confuse them with goblins.
A proper meal has not passed my lips in days.
How sound this? We moved with haste through a labyrinth of narrow tunnels, till at last our path brought us to the heart of the creature's lair. One cannot find in words the joy we felt to behold the child alive. But alas, in the depths of the earth her rescue would be hard fought, for in our way the loathsome troll stood guard of its infant captive.
Food!
Surely there be some morsel here to eat. Did I not spy a turnip about the place?
It is as wizened as a pauper's stick. And you are stalling.
I do no such thing. I write with the tale still fresh in my mind is all.
Dulac, where is the money?
Hmm?
Do not play dumb. We were owed a reward. Where is it?
Oh, I gave it away.
When? We returned the child to its parents and came straight home. The villager. With the broken cart. It was him, wasn't it?
His need was greater than ours?
No, it was not. We have to eat. And keep this room, the payment for which is already late.
It was the honourable thing to do. A word that escapes your very being.
Well, as of tomorrow, your honour will have us starving in a ditch. But as long as Mr. Bloody, whoever he was, has a working cart... You're a foolish man, Dulac.
And you, Faye, are a heartless creature. Forgive me, I meant not...
Hjälp! Hjälp! Kom fort! Oh, Gud! Hjälp mig!
We had best go without and see the cause of such alarm. Faye!
Heartless creatures do not care.
For heaven's sake! There is not time for this. Someone cries out for help. Whomever is in need may well have coin. We cannot refill our purse from in here.
Fine. And no haggling this time. Heroism is not negotiable. This better be worth our while, Dulac. I do not enjoy traipsing around in the cold for nothing.
This does not look to be nothing.
You are lucky. Anything less than a corpse, and I would be heading straight back inside.
I will seek word as to what happened. Du kjente han.
Bror min! Espen! Vi hadde bare brukket brød for noen timer siden.
Jeg er lei for deg.
Jeg så han dø. Det var frykt i øynene hans. En frykt jeg aldri vil se igjen.
Sa han noe?
Han snakka om vingedjævlen sjøl. Satan! Han fortalte meg at han har kommet for å besøke døden på oss alle.
Djevelen? Hva mente han med deg?
Bror min var en god mann. Han fortjente ikke å dø slikt. La meg være i fred, så jeg kan be for ham.
The man speaks of winged devils. I fear his mind too clouded with grief.
The dead might be more forthcoming.
His purse remains full. The villain cared not for coin. Face is badly marked. Wounds are deep, savage. A torn letter. Sent by Espin's sweetheart. You look fey. Mayhap there's something I miss.
There is an injury to the stomach, most likely the cause of death. But it is not the work of a blade. It smells like horn, as though the man were gored. His clothes are heavily soiled. No doubt he experienced a great horror. Coarse hairs cover the arms and legs. The scent is familiar.
There is an evil at work here, is there not?
An evil, yes. The horse.
It would not be the first time cunning took innocent guise?
No, the hairs affixed to the dead man's clothes. They belong to the animal. He may have seen something. The deceased. You knew him, didn't you?
He was my master. I carried him since he were a child. His father, too.
Did you see what took his life?
I did not. He left me here and went to the story house.
Story house? I do not know this place.
In the distance, you'll see it standing tall.
The church. Of course.
You cannot go. Their words are not meant for us.
I am different.
You look like dog, but you are not dog. You are strange.
Whatever happened to the man happened at the church. We go, now.
Suddenly you are concerned?
What? I just want this over with.
By the headstone. Another has been claimed.
Listen.
The gut suffers wounds same as before. But look.
Rarely are appetites so specific.
Mayhap this the work of a winged devil after all.
Wings, yes. I did not see it before, but it makes sense. The villager must have escaped. Or the minister interrupted feeding before the demon could finish. It likes eyes, so I've heard.
What unholy monster is this?
In our lodgings, there is a mirror. Bring it here at once.
What need have we of mirrors?
There is not time to explain. Just do as I ask.
Evil is afoot, most like hiding in that very church.
And we will deal with it.
But...
Dulac, go!
Do not dare enter until I return.
It is not wise for you to come here at this time. Danger awaits you. The devil is near. Can you not feel it? The air is cold. My feet are colder. The stench of death is in the air. Soon we will descend. Stay alert, hound.
What happened here? Somewhere a child weeps. The other piece of the letter. Espen was to be married. He must have come here to tell of the happy news. Debris from the damaged roof. Shedded skin. The creature grows. Pews have been tossed like sticks. Wreckage on the inside means the demon gained entry from without, bursting in through the roof. Ah! Both men were attacked and mortally wounded, during which time more destruction was wrought. The demon must then have shed its skin, in which case it is still here, hiding while it recovers.
I told you to wait.
So you did.
I have done as you bid until now without reason, but no more. What is the meaning of this?
There are tales of how they were birthed. Some say from Cassandra herself. It was a ritual to siphon her power, but it went wrong. Abominations were unleashed. They have had many names. I know them only as seer demons.
How have I never heard of them?
It is believed they were all hunted and killed.
Clearly not. And what of the mirror?
It will be the demon's prison?
Will it now?
You've not used it for... I can't remember the last time.
I would use it never if I had the choice.
Well, the choice is simple. If you don't do this, the demon will kill again.
Is it in here?
Growing in size and strength. My presence has yet to provoke, but there is still the upper floor to search.
Ah, the stairs are blocked.
For you, maybe. It is a good thing I have not eaten. I'm through.
What do you see? Faye!
Be quiet! The scent grows stronger. I am close.
Surrender, fiend, or else my heel be at your throat.
I had a feeling that would not work.
So be it.
Dulac, we must trap it while it is weakened.
Speak the damned words!
Where daimon bea ure richtend. Sharoe us tharse wika achudeth.
Hold fast! Fey, those words!
Be quiet, Dulac!
You lied! You said we were only to trap it!
Then in death it was redeemed.
For what?
It is said, if asked, the creature can reveal things.
That word I spake. Weaker.
You know more than you let on. I asked it to show us Merlin.
That is why you deceived me.
I knew you would not agree otherwise.
For good reason! We speak his name no more. You know this.
You think by not speaking his name I can forget? Look at me, Dulac. Every day, every second, I am reminded of the man who trapped me in this wretched form. The man who stripped me of my power. I will never forget.
So, you mean for us to follow visions? How many souls have we seen led to misery, or worse?
Right now, I would take worse.
You do not mean that.
No.
This is not the path chosen for us, Faye. We help those in need.
And what of my need? Will you not help me when I ask of it?
You know I would.
Then please, Dulac, I beg you, help me.
I saw no sign of Merlin.
They were clues. Clues we must solve. Then we will find him.
Where do we even start?
The image of the city and its river. There is only one like it. Think.
London.
The very same.
Then you mean these visions? They call to us?
Yes, brave Lancelot. And we shall answer.
Upon our travels, it has been said Britannia's fleet alone rules the waves. Here I see it true.
Whoso rules them rules the world.
If only Arthur were here to see his country grown to such heights.
Then you could dwell on the cost of such glory together.
We each must sacrifice for something greater than ourselves. He knew that better than anyone.
You speak like you knew the man.
I did. He was my king.
Yes, I know. I just meant that, as his sister, I knew another side to him. Besides, we have not come here to discuss Arthur.
Do not remind me.
That's the spirit, Delac.
I just cannot help but think us fools. Surely you do not forget who we quest after.
A wizard of vast power who has mastery of rock and earth. That is to say nothing of the skills he has undoubtedly acquired over the past millennia. No, I have not forgotten.
Do not ever attempt to rouse an army before battle. They would all run.
I will not deny Merlin's talents. They have certainly aided him to remain hidden from us. But this time we have an advantage.
Yes, the visions.
Painstakingly reproduced by your good hand. They must hold some detail by which to refine our search. Show them to me.
A severed heart.
It could mean anything.
The image to bring us here.
No good. Keep looking.
A woman, clothed in red.
Without a face or a name, she is of no use.
A place of worship.
Yes. That might work. Ask anyone here if they know of such a building.
We need only look to the Bible and the prophecy of Revelation. Chapter 17, verse 1, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Preacher,
Each
a
of
word,
you
if you
look
will.
upon the
What
ships
is it that
arriving
takes me from
this
God's
very
work?
hour.
I wish to locate
The
this building.
merchandise of
I will
gold
not
and
tell of the
silver,
path to such
and
an
precious
unholy place.
stones and of pearls,
This is a house of
and
God,
all
is it
manner
not?
vessels of ivory,
Those
and all
that dwell
manner
there
vessels
think
of
they
most
know it's
precious
God, but
wood,
they give heed
and
to
of
seducing
brass and
spirits
iron and
and the
marble,
doctrines of
and
devils.
cinnamon and odor.
Sounds rather interesting when you
ye
put it like
shall
that.
Not drink freely,
Stay and
for
listen.
the whore's
Your
come
soul
from
may
heaven
yet be
punished. For
saved.
God hateth all.
Another time,
And
mayhap.
he cried mightily.
Hello there. Yeah, hello. Oh, you're very beautiful. You look very nice. Can I sniff you, please? Master likes you, I can tell. Can I sniff you, please? You smell like water and far away. Your master talks odd. He smells strange, like you. You smell strange. I don't like it. I'm unsure. You smell old. I like people, but old people. People that have gone. Are you dying? Are you all right? Don't go, please. Don't go. Stay. Play, perhaps. Come back again.
right, darling. Want us to show you round? Hey, are you even listening to us? Oi, oi! You little dents, eh, Cherry? You want to keep odds in your good books? Nuff said. There's plenty more where we came from. Ha! Good dog.
Please, if you'll just hear me out. I can do twice the work of any man.
I told you to pack out of here.
Have you no mercy? This is my last chance. I've tried everywhere else.
For the last time, I ain't hiring no lag. Not when I've plenty of decent men with families that need feeding. Now that's the end of it.
Fortune forsakes you.
I won't leave, sir. I've just as much right to work here as anyone else. You can tell Jack I said that.
Who is Jack?
Aren't you from the merchant company?
I am but a traveller, under no company's charge.
Oh. My apologies. Not many willing to even consider the likes of me for a job, let alone allow them to loiter. But I have no choice, even if it is hopeless. A man has to eat.
If you are willing, you shall find work.
I don't think the world cares how willing I am. But thank you for your kind wish, sir. It is rare. If I can help you with anything, let me know.
Mayhap you recognize this church.
I'm afraid I have not been to church in quite some time. I think another here might better help you.
Well, good luck. May I ask your name?
Ferdinand. And yours?
Dulac, at your service.
Well, I'm very glad to make your acquaintance, Mr. Dulac. Good day.
I beg pardon, sir.
If you're hoping for work, put in your name and wait like the others.
Mine only hope is that you shall aid your fellow man.
Do I look like the aiding type?
Fouler beasts than you have surprised me.
Say what?
Please, have you knowledge of this place here drawn?
Christchurch. Any fool knows that.
Be it far?
Head out the gate and keep going. Now, walk your chalks. I've work to do.
Interest you in a buttonhole, sir?
We can still win, comrades! Good.
Tell me more of this world you favour.
It's a world where men like you work side by side with folk like us. Where we do not accept the accumulation of wealth in the hands of a few. A world where the citizens are not ruled by managers or kings.
Does the crown not still hold sway in these isles? You owe much to the sacrifices of knight and throne.
Huh, a royalist. I should have known from the way you hold yourself, the way you walk. As if you think we should all kneel before our betters. As if subjugation were our natural state. When the revolution comes, men like you will learn the place of the people. Men like you will quake in fear as the proletariat takes back what is ours.
Oh, we have not time for politics, Dulac.
Ah, returned, have you? My words have struck a chord.
The police are stationed here.
There was no force here when we last braved the city. Such a thing did not exist.
Good. It's about time they pulled themselves together.
Hello. What a pretty one. Have you come to play? I don't think I can move too far, but I can try. I'll do my best. Have you seen my master? He was here but a moment ago. Oh, you smell strange. Do you know you smell strange? Did you roll in something bad? Master dislikes it when I wriggle in bad things. You're not a dog, are you? I don't mind. I still like you.
You seem like a kind sort of gentleman. Perhaps you're in need of some youthful company.
Good day, sir. Afraid I'm not on duty. Happy to help, though. What can I do you for?
What has occurred here of late? London is not as I remember.
Well, I imagine you hail from a little further afield?
Norway. We arrived by ship this morn.
Long journey, that is. Apologies on behalf of the city, then, sir. Though I must ask what you expect from an area such as Whitechapel. Full of costers and drunkards, sir. Them types have little will to work.
Well, that is a fine attitude to hold.
See? Your round agrees. May I recommend you get further west, sir? You'll hold a better class of company there. An handsome gentleman such as yourself could end up in quite a spot of bother, given Whitechapel's current affairs.
These affairs of which you speak?
Well, a man's got to be careful what with all them killings about. Attracts all kind of unsavoury folk.
This one has a loose tongue.
Who has been slain?
My mistake. Can't go talking about that now, can we? Oh, Francis. Do us a favour, sir. Don't go telling my superiors. Shouldn't have said that. What with public alarm and all. You're quite the man of mystery, sir. Some would have it that you stepped right out of one of them penny dreadfuls. Francis, do watch that mouth of yours. There's a rare old show at the Lyceum. Macbeth, it is. So old Thick says. He's a cultured man and all. If you happen to see a lad called Stevens about, tell him I know about the ale. No, actually, don't. Do forget that. A good day to you, sir.
Finest blues in all of Whitechapel.
My God! Be that Sir Tristan's coat of arms. We must return here.
Oh.
Ah, 'tis locked.
Oh no! What a shame.
Fancy an orange, sir?
I am not hungry.
Best oranges in London, sir.
Unquestionably.
Try one then.
Another time.
Suit yourself.
Fresh from Hopkins, the finest muffins and crumpets. Good day, sir. Still haven't warmed from the oven. Can I tempt you? Mighty fine bakes from Hopkins' own oven. Only the best here, sir. And looks like it could do with a bit of a feed, sir. Bet she has fine tastes, too. Perfect with a cup of coffee, sir. Oh, don't the smell just get ya?
Oi, sir! Fancy seeing where old Polly met her end? It'll cost mine, but I knows how to get us there quick like.
There has been a death.
Course there has. Getting on a week and the paving's still red with her blood. I've seen it with me own eyes.
Shoo him away.
Hey, and don't worry about no crowds gawking neither. I knows how to clear 'em out. You'd have the spot all to yourself.
Dulac, this does not concern us. Go away, boy.
Here, dog's not like to bite, is it?
Methinks you rile her.
He does.
I must be off, child. My path leads elsewhere.
Where's that then, sir?
Christchurch.
Farthing sees you to the steps.
Outrageous!
I must forego the offer.
I did not see you in the congregation. Ma always told me you were rotten. I didn't listen, though, did I? Gambling our money away on the cards and dominoes with those old mokes from Bishopsgate. What a fool you've been, Nathan. How could you?
The number of columns, the steeple, even the clock face. This is it.
Oh, I'm ruined. I'm absolutely ruined.
What is the matter?
That's all of next week's dinners flying down the street. My music, all my sheets blown to the bleeding wind. I should have pinned them up, stupid cow.
I shall aid you in any way I can.
Thank you, sir, but now ain't the time.
Then you fret over nothing?
Yeah, that's right. It's nothing. Suppose I'll just get by with no money this week.
And what should I do, perchance I find any of these ballads?
Go home and eat coke for all I care. They're ruined.
Perhaps we should depart.
But I did nothing wrong.
Just fuck off.
Clo, Clo, old Clo. Money for your old Clo. Well, ain't that the most genuine article? What would it take for you to part with such an handsome coat, sir? Folks will tell you that everyone knows the value of an old coat nowadays. Rubbish. It takes a keen eye and an heavy pocket, I tell you now. Clo, Clo, old Clo.
I beg pardon, sir.
What do you want? Fuck off.
Excuse me?
Freshest oysters in all of London, sir. Plump little beauties, aren't they? Lost the last peck to a drunken fool working the tramline. Thought a good kick to mine basket would be a fine lark. Das Schweinedummkopf. Sure I can't tempt you.
What say your nose? Does the wizard here reside?
Oh, I struggle to detect anything past the stench of rotting corpse. But no, he's not here.
Then why show it us in the mirror?
I do not know. This place has meaning, it must. I am ready to leave.
Is there something I may help you with, sir? I do not know your face, sir, so I shall assume you are not from around here. Do take your time admiring the church. I insist. If you've coin to spare, might I suggest putting it in the alms box? All donations, no matter how small, are greatly appreciated.
Surely you did not expect to find him so soon.
No, Yes. You must think me a damned fool. Do not rush to disagree.
I shall not. Night gathers. It would be wise to seek a room.
Somewhere close by. Tiredness has suddenly crept upon me.
As you wish.
What about that place on the corner? The 10 Bells?
Would you consider trading feet with me, sir? Mine ache worse than me back. Consider buying me girls a drink, sir. Go on, be a gent. Gin patches up just about everything, don't you think?
I seek a room.
You're in luck, sir. Came vacant this very morning.
What price do you ask?
Crown a night.
Dulac, this place is a hovel. He should be paying us.
Yeah, well, you can forget it if your dog keeps growling like that. Can't be having no feral beasts under this roof.
I would first look upon some of your customers before you abase my companion.
I'll have you know, only Whitechapel's finest drink here.
Here, Mr. Waldron, if I'm Whitechapel's finest, my cunny's a slipper!
Yeah, well, maybe I am too quick to judge.
Then it is settled.
Rooms atop them stairs. We don't make breakfast for our lodgers. You and your mutt'll need to sort that out yourself. Any barking and you're out, all right? If she does her business on the floor, I assure you that you'll be the one to clear it up. Ethel says mutts make her throat tickle, so don't go near my wife with the dog around. I can't stand round talking all leave. I've got a pub to run.
Oh. It appears we require a coin.
Heads mattress, tails the floor.
Heads. Ah!
Ah, good. You're awake.
Oh, how long have I slept?
But a few hours. My mind would not allow it. The floor did little to help.
What are you drawing?
A map of whence we have so far travelled.
Oh. Then you think we should stay?
We could do much good here.
Someone's changed their tune. Out with it. I can see you're dying to tell me something.
I have been thinking.
Never a good thing.
Of that woman's murder.
What woman?
The one the boy told us of. Polly, Mrs. Nichols.
Before you ask, no, we're not giving her relatives any money.
Your wit astounds. I found a newspaper which details her crime. Cast your eye over it. See here. It speaks of abdominal mutilation. A description of the villain they seek. Leather apron, they call him.
It seems Whitechapel's streetwalkers bear the brunt of his wrath.
Buck's Row, the site her body was found.
This is all wonderfully intriguing, Dulac, but why does this concern me?
Was one of the visions not a severed heart?
So this mentions nothing of the sort.
Nor is it denied either. Does our being here so close to the event have no import whatsoever?
Oh, you're not going to let this go, are you? Oh, what do you suggest?
This newspaper is but one account. Other people might know more. A doctor, mayhap.
Detailed examinations would have been undertaken. But how to find such a man?
The police.
They are not likely to divulge such information to us.
Then I shall persuade them.
I take it eating first is out of the question. It is not as though I am unaccustomed to starvation.
Hello again. Yeah, you there. I remember you. The pretty one. Let me sniff. Perhaps. Do you want babies? We can have babies. Little ones. You like that? I would. Please. You don't smell like water anymore. What happened? Don't go, please. Don't go. Stay. Play. Perhaps. Come back again.
You think it'll help?
I know it'll help, dear. The swelling will go down in the next day or two. Just don't overdo it.
Thank you.
If you know he's in one of his bouts, do try and stay out the way next time. That'll work better than any cure.
Sir.
How can I help you, sir?
You take no coin for your trouble.
We do what we can for those who need help.
Never a truer word spoken.
God help us.
What is it that drives you, sir? If I may be so bold to ask.
I am a humble man with a humble goal. The unceasing quest for justice.
If you seek justice, sir, you may just have come at the right time.
Before I go, have you a remedy for fleas?
Oh, you are cruel.
She complains terribly of them, you see. It is most unbecoming.
Soak her fur in a vinegar solution, sir. That should help shift them.
Oh, I cannot imagine why.
My thanks, miss. I shall heed your advice.
You shall heed nothing.
I aim to care for the strangers I would my own. Very few share that outlook on life. We must do the best we can.
What do you want to know? The boy. You know the boy, the one with the hat. I see you speak. You know the one. He takes things that are not his. You know the boy. He thinks no one sees. I see. I know. The unseeing man with the white eyes. I nibble his fingers when he sleeps. He does not see it coming.
Hey, sir. Seen a missing ring, sir? May I look for it myself, but me I don't have much luck. Spare a coin, good sir. I smell the waves on you, stranger. You have any loose change, sir? Your friend seems angered, sir. You best hurry. A good day to your boat.
Dulac, I sense an old friend.
The chemist. It would seem to be closed.
We must stop by later for a visit then. Oh, it does the heart good to know we are not as alone as we feel.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Excuse me, sir, please help me. This man, this scoundrel.
What has he done?
He stole money from me, sir.
I've had enough of this.
I do not suffer thieves. You will give the lady back her coin at once.
I didn't take nothing.
Now.
Here, take it.
Your coin, my lady.
Oh, my knight in shining armour. And please, call me Irene.
It is my duty to aid a lady in need.
Oh, if only others were so accommodating. Oh, I'd love to stay and chit-chat. But my parents will be missing me. I hope to see you again.
In need of a little company, perhaps, sir? We could play at all fours.
You shall find no custom here, fleshmonger.
Surely the gentleman is a Marjorie, given the gaudiness of his coat?
Sorry.
Please, I have no time for your vulgarities.
You think it a sin to lie with a man?
Good heavens, no. The sin is to pay for the pleasure.
And I thought tonight would be deadly dull. A good night to you, sir. You know where to find me.
Evening, sir. Am I be of assistance?
It is urgent news I carry, of the woman's death.
Which woman, sir?
The murdered one. Who else?
Of course, sir. Are you a relative of Mrs. Nichols?
No. I am to deliver word to the surgeon who saw her in death.
Ah, Dr. Llewellyn.
Yes, Dr. Llewellyn.
A right shocking case, that one.
Truly.
To think, a poor woman lying there right now in the dark. Gives me the shivers.
Do not give thought to such things.
I can't help it, sir. Not while the unfortunate woman awaits burial in that there mortuary.
She has not been interred.
Now, I'm not one for idle gossip, but they tells me a nurse is arranged for collection tomorrow morning.
So soon?
Well, that's not information we're giving to the public, mind. We don't want crowds gathering and causing disruption.
This mortuary, I have forgotten its whereabouts.
Oh, it's Eagle Place, off Old Montague Street.
Yes, of course. Well, I bid you good evening.
But, sir, your urgent letter for the doctor.
It can wait.
Oh, thank heavens for idiots.
Well, we have no need of the doctor now.
I have no notion where this old Montague Street is to be found.
No, but I know a boy who will.
For a price?
Evening, sir. Apologies, but it's rather unwise to be out at this time. May I be of service?
Your concern is misplaced, Detective. I am more than capable of staving off a cut-purse.
Oh, it wasn't my intention to offend, sir. Merely a kind warning for a stranger.
You think me a stranger?
Well, we see few dressed in such attire, sir.
He's cute, Dulac.
Oh, fine hound you have there, sir. Clever one at that. It is no wonder you are capable of defending yourself with such an agile accomplice.
I quite agree.
You fill her with hot air, Detective.
Oh, not at all. That aside, I do not wish to delay you further. Do watch yourselves. A good night to you and the young lady, sir.
What a wonderful man.
Boy, I have use of you.
What's that then, sir?
I must find the place where they keep the dead. An old Montague Street?
Yeah, I knows it.
A farthing for your trouble.
A penny now, sir.
How so?
Precisely.
I ain't no fool, sir. If you had leave to go there, it'd be peelers you'd be asking, not me.
I could easily find another boy to show me the way, but coins are not so easy to find.
Farthing it is then, sir. Follow me. I've taught myself to pick 'em, sir.
It was skillfully done, Charlie. We need light.
I can smell oil. There must be a lamp in here somewhere.
Found an old lock in the river. I cleaned it up and oiled it. I'm practised. Now I can do it without looking.
What do you see?
She has been cut across the throat. There are wounds to the stomach, too. What do you smell?
She has been thoroughly cleaned. I detect very little.
There might be something here that can tell us more. He thinks her age to be 25.
The poor woman appears older.
He saw marks to indicate there was a struggle.
The killer was swift.
The weapon has severed all the tissues down to the vertebrae.
My God. I'm surprised the head is still attached. Do the notes mention a weapon?
The doctor supposes a long-bladed knife. His theory is that the assailant is left-handed. But little blood was to be seen.
Strange, considering the savagery of the neck wound. Well, I see nothing here connecting this to the heart.
You do not think the missing blood curious?
Not particularly. Maybe it was simply washed away by the rain. It's impossible to know for sure. This will not help us find...
Merlin, I know.
You look for something that isn't there, Dulac. And you know what else isn't there? Food. In my stomach.
Here, Gov! We need to paddle! Someone's coming!
Ah, what excellent timing. Oh, Dulac.
Yes?
The lamp. If I'm not mistaken, they're serving oyster stew.
Wait.
If you dare tell me there is no money, I shall howl.
Within me, something stirs.
One of us is here. Oh, damn oysters. I cannot place it.
We must question these folk and find who it is.
Dulac, the woman, she wears a red shawl. This is surely another of the visions.
Keep going. You're doing fine.
The mystery attending the horrible murders in Whitechapel shows no sign of lessening. Residents are led in their anger over the
inefficiency. Not doing a good job.
Inefficiency of the detectives involved. Above all, the people wish to know why the police have not yet arrested Leather Apron.
She seems blind to our presence.
I wonder, can she hear you speak?
We shall see. Go and talk to her. But mention nothing of Merlin, not until we know more.
Then what would you have me say?
Anything. Just converse.
Forgive me, miss, but I would have a few minutes of this lady's company, if you would permit.
Here, Mary, I think he's looking for a play.
We'll continue again tomorrow. You be off now, Kitty.
I'm making out better, aren't I? Ever so grateful I am, truly. Sir?
Well, you know my name. How about yours?
Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins.
All right, Mr. Jenkins. It's 4p for a go, half now, half when we're finished. Buy me a drink and I'll talk dirty while we do it.
The term forthright comes to mind.
Pays to be in this trade. Well?
May we not speak instead?
Different hole, Mr. Jenkins, same cost.
How enterprising.
Your dog don't half make queer noises.
That she does.
You seem like a nice man. Too nice to be hanging around these parts. Bad things been happening round here of late, the likes of which you couldn't imagine.
I take you mean this leather apron.
Aye.
It is a vile craven that hunts women.
Fine words, Mr. Jenkins. You sound just like the Rosas and everyone else round you who claims to care. But your words won't help Mrs. Nichols now, nor the others he's butchered. God rest their souls.
You asked for that.
There have been others.
If you're not going to pay for my bed, then I must find someone who will. Good evening, sir.
'Tis madness. You walk the streets knowing a murderous cutthroat is out there.
Ha! You speak as though I had a choice.
I doubt she'll forget me in a hurry.
I was but a dog in her eyes. So strange.
How is that so?
It is extremely rare, but some mortals have innate access to the arcane. The odd thing is that something is blocking hers.
Do you think she knows of Merlin?
It's too early to tell. I will follow her and learn more. This is exciting.
Extremely. Pray tell, what am I to do?
Why, Dulac, fetch dinner, of course.
Bless you, Joe.
My brethren, we are infected with a rank pestilence.
I am sure, as most of you are aware, Mrs. Mary Ann Nichols was buried this past Thursday at Manor Park Cemetery, in what, I am told, was a modest and fitting ceremony with close family in attendance. There are, no doubt, some of you here who knew Mrs. Nichols, but as one of our neighbours, she was known to us all. In this spirit, we join together in prayer in the hope that we may find some measure of peace after such a tragic end. O merciful God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who is the resurrection. My dear Mary.
Good morning, Vicar.
How good of you to come. I take it you knew Mrs. Nichols.
They say she were one of a kind. Give you the shirt off her back, she would.
It is a ghastly business. I cannot fathom what drives someone to commit such horrific acts.
Makes you wonder if he's up there after all.
Mary, you mustn't think that way. Evil exists so that we may choose goodness. Only by the grace of God may we choose correctly.
If you say so, sir.
Enough of that. How have you been? We've missed you.
Sorry, sir. I haven't been coming of late. I hope the Lord can see his way to forgive him.
Of course he will. He wants you to be well, as do I.
I know, sir.
And how is Mr. Barnett?
Fine, sir. Last I heard.
Mary, if you are struggling, I know the Hope Town shelter would be happy to receive you. They have helped many women in their time of need.
I'll be fine, sir. Honest, I will.
I shall pray for you.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, Mary, our door is always open. Do let me know if I can do anything for you, Mary.
My brethren, we are infected with a rank pestilence. And though it comes upon us without boil or blemish, without fever or phlegm, its symptoms are no less severe. More so, for man's very soul is ravaged and kept in sickness. My brethren, we are in...
I ain't done nothing.
I never said you had.
Bullshit.
Charlie Bennett, where'd you hear that kind of language?
You, Miss Mary.
Oh, just don't repeat it.
I'll try. Can't promise nothing, though.
You're not down on the Thames today?
No, Miss Mary. I was taking a short break from larking.
Oh, why's that?
And now went through me foot when I was searching the banks. So Ma says Penny can take Emma to Covent Garden for Cress in the meantime.
Oh, how old is Emma now? 5? Oh, and helping her ma'am?
Never too young to start earning your keep, Miss Mary. Oh, you don't have to worry. We'll be right as rain in no time.
Good to know, little man.
I've been thinking.
What is it, Charlie?
Do you think I'll ever be more than a mudlark, Miss Mary?
Where's this come from all of a sudden?
I just thought, being that I can read and write and all, perhaps...
Hey, you can be whatever you want to be, Master Bennet. You just need to work hard and find the right place. Now go and fry your face. I'm sick of the sight of you.
Ah, another new face. Good morning, young lady, and a very warm welcome to you. I'm Mr. Green.
I heard an old gal were running this place. You all right, sir?
Do I look normal to you, miss?
What sort of question's that?
Don't mind me. It's been a busy morning. What seems to be the problem?
Dreams, sir.
Unpleasant ones?
They can be.
Oh, that isn't good. Don't suppose you happen to remember any?
Sam, they don't make a lot of sense. They have strange things in them.
What sort of strange things?
Things what fly and make the most terrible racket.
Birds, you mean?
Made of metal they are, with huge wings, bigger than a man with his arms stretched out.
Oh, that does sound peculiar. You know, there are some who say dreams have meaning.
How's that, sir?
In that they're a sort of premonition of what's to come.
Is that what you think?
I know it's a dicky old world, and there's lots about it we don't understand. But some of the biggest mysteries are the folk in it. Let's see if we can't make up a draft to help you sleep a bit better. Would you mind helping me gather the ingredients, miss?
Name's Mary Kelly, sir.
Well, let's get started then, Mary. First, we need some cocoa wine. Very good for calming nerves. Next, we need some laudanum. Excellent if you're feeling overworked. Oh my, yes. That'll work a treat. Very well done. Oh my, yes. That'll work. Oh my, yes. That'll work. Oh, my, yes. That'll work a treat. Very well done. First, we need some cocoa wine. Very good for calming nerves. Next, we need some laudanum. Excellent if you're feeling overworked. Oh, my, yes. That'll work a treat. Very well done. Oh, my, yes. That'll work a treat. Very well done. Oh, my, yes. That'll work a treat. Very well done. Oh, my, yes. That'll work a treat. Very well done. First, we need some cocoa wine. Very good for calming. Next, we need some laudanum. Excellent if you're feeling overworked. My, you are gifted. Now, I mix these up with some water, several drams of syrup, and the pièce de résistance, a dash of bruised ginger. This should do the trick, Mary.
Oh, thank you, sir.
That'll be a shilling. Take 3 spoonfuls 1 hour before bed, and I promise a better night's sleep will be had.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Good day to you, Mary. Come back any time, should you need anything. Just a thought, Mary. Have you been out in the sun much?
Sun? In England? You must be joking, Mr. Green.
Well, ensure you expose yourself to as much sun as possible. Darkness can make you tired and prevent proper growth.
Ah, you're thinking of plants, sir.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. People need light to grow. I'm sure of it.
Are you all right, Mr. Green? Perhaps you need some fresh air.
I do, but alas, I cannot leave this place. Only I know what is what and what goes where. No, I must remain. I'm hopeful the rot will end soon. London has been poisoned. You can smell it, can't you? There are only so many cures. I hope you get a good night's sleep soon. In any case, I'll see you soon, Mary. Good day.
I've got more business to attend to, Miss Mary.
Would you like some advice, my dear? Never get married. It'll only fry your nerves as it has mine.
Pretty posies for pretty ladies.
Mary! Oh, Mary! Over here! Mary!
Oh, morning, girl. I was hoping to see your ugly mug today.
You must be able to read my mind. This ugly mug's got some work for you.
Ooh, let's hear it then.
Mr. Wick, you know, the curiosity chap needs an extra pair of hands. I suggested yours.
How kind.
Anything for a friend.
Ooh, you got some lovely flowers today, girl. You'll be fighting them off.
Don't matter how pretty they are. Ever since that awful business with Mrs. Nichols, folks been right turned off, they have. Can't say I blame 'em. Seems wrong somehow. Just carrying on.
Yeah. Well, we ain't much choice, have we?
Like everything else, then.
It'll blow over soon enough, Kitty. People don't take long to forget.
I hope you're right. Speaking of blowing over, is Joe?
Nah. Mr. Barnett don't forget a storm quickly. We still ain't speaking.
What's got him knocked this time?
Ugh. Money troubles. Ain't that just the way?
Shame. He seemed like a good man.
Yeah. Still sends me my keep in the post.
I need to find myself one like that. Who knows? Perhaps we're in for a stroke of luck.
Wittick's Wonders, my big toe. Dusty old shit.
Try not to touch anything.
I think I saw something.
No, don't be ridiculous. The poor thing is in dire need of a polish, that's all. Careful, Mary Jane. That is a genuine Greenwich piece. And a gift from my generous benefactor. Very expensive.
It's beautiful, sir.
That it is. In the glorious words of Othello, pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. brown bess, a steadfast symbol of our expansive empire.
I've come about the work, sir. Kitty sent me.
Ah, you must be Mary Jane. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Ready to spread the good word about my fine establishment?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Splendid. Furnish thyself, child.
You want me handing out pamphlets, sir?
Why, you do not distribute mere pamphlets.
No?
My dear, you will be as Beatrice, leading them to paradise.
Who's she when she's at home?
Oh, never mind. Mary Jane, what I offer here is salvation. For too long have the people of Whitechapel languished in ignorance, which, I am afraid to say, is the cause of much of the wrongdoing we see upon these very streets. We have forgotten who we are, a nation built by heroes from whom we can trace our best habits and institutions. I shall remind them of this fact. We shall remind them.
And I'll be doing all that by just handing out pamphlets.
Now, I would not hope to suggest where one might best make a start. You are, no doubt, more familiar with Whitechapel's environs than I.
I know of a few places, sir.
Excellent. We shall settle payment upon your return.
Interest you in an exhibition on King Arthur?
What on earth do you expect me to do with that? Toss him in the water for all I care, but you can fuck off with that rubbish.
I lived here when I was young, you know. But I don't think I grew up to be a good man.
Here, don't you look like the spit of my daughter? Come back from the grave to haunt this old moke, eh? If you're here to see the fire, you're about a week late. Still a bit of looting to be done, though, you know, if you're partial. Off you go, then.
Daisy! Cry shame on me.
Don't get your hopes up that you'll get familiar with the lads down here. I've enough trouble keeping them occupied as is.
Christ, Sid, what's crawled up your arse and died?
Same thing, what's crawled out between your legs. It's Mr. Young to you. Now clear off. I don't want to be seen in such bad company.
You didn't mind my company before.
You better watch your tongue, Kelly. You hear me?
You used to have such a gentle way with you, Sid. What happened?
You know what happened.
How is she?
Not good. And I won't eat. Can't remember nothing. Freddie, he cries and cries. She just looks at him like he ain't even there.
Oh, Sid. I'm sorry.
What happened, happened. I ain't denying that. It don't mean I want to speak to you, though. Anna is just angry all the time. When she ain't angry, she cries. I don't even recognise her.
I've gone right cakey, because I could swear that dog is following me.
A fine day, isn't it?
Won't last.
Spoken like a true Londoner.
Excuse my asking.
Sweden. I knew what you planned to ask from the look on your face. That was a long time ago, mind. Accents? Pick up on accents, I suppose.
Ah, I see. It is only fair. Wales. A long time ago, that wasn't all.
It is a blessing these small things follow us, despite being so far from home.
You seem to have spent a long time here, though, if you don't mind my saying.
20 years or so. So desperate to see the country as many were. After losing a child in Gothenburg, it felt like time for a new beginning.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
Oh, that is life, is it not?
Yes.
My apologies. I'm often told that it is wrong to wear your heart on your sleeve in London, yet I do often. Good day to you, miss. Thank you for such kind conversation.
I see you have no more pamphlets. I trust all went well.
I shan't lie, sir. It was a struggle.
I can imagine. But if one weary soul walks through these doors seeking transcendence, then we shall have succeeded. Now, such valuable work must not go unrewarded.
Thank you, sir. I shall be glad to help again in the future if you have need of it.
I shall keep that in mind, Mary Jane. I see you admiring my latest purchase. I wonder, do you happen to recognize the language in which the text is written?
Oh, looks like Welsh to me, sir.
Well done. It is in fact an ancient dialect, not spoken anymore.
What's it about, if I might ask?
You are familiar with the tales of King Arthur?
A little. My gran used to tell me stories.
Many have told the tale down through the ages. Malory, de Troyes, most recently Tennyson. This book contains one of the earliest and least known versions. Rather primitive, but that is to be expected. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, only if you have time.
Always, Mary Jane, always. The tale begins long ago, in a time of darkness and war, when prophecy foretold that from the chaos would rise a great king named Arthur and his mighty court at Camelot. From far and wide came the bravest of warriors, each pledging their swords to defend the kingdom's glory and ensure peace forevermore across its lands. And from among these warriors there stood one, braver and more glorious than all the rest, Sir Lancelot du Lac, heralded the greatest knight of his age. But while all admired the valiant star in their midst, there was a fiery passion that burned deep within another's heart. Alas, Queen Guinevere knew it to be wrong, and fought to keep her desire hidden, until one day she could not bear the agony any longer, and confessed all. To the Queen's surprise, Lancelot did not chide her words, but instead wept, for in his eternal goodness he had not felt a purer love in all his years, and swore to keep Guinevere's secret until his last breath. Tragedy was almost averted that day, were it not for another who watched from the shadows. It was the sorceress Morgana, Arthur's exiled kin. She too yearned deeply, but not for love. Her prize was the crown upon her brother's head, and the title of queen his birth had long denied her. So that very night she went transformed to Arthur's chamber, whispering to him her wicked tale. Plagued thereafter was the king with dreadful visions, not of ghouls and ghosts and monstrous fiends, but of friends and lovers committing treachery most foul. Upon his waking, Arthur's torment did not end, for he knew in his heart a nightmarish truth had been revealed. The wretched couple was summoned before the king, who, in such pain, could not bear their presence any longer, and declared them outcast, never again to step foot within Camelot's walls. News of this great turmoil quickly spread throughout the realm, and the dark forces, long defeated, stirred once more. And so Morgana's evil plan was almost done, as she woke dormant terrors to rain down fire on Arthur's fallen kingdom. Finally, the scheming sorceress was poised to take the crown and rule as Camelot's eternal queen. But a deathly shriek cut her triumph short, and with haste Morgana flew to whence the dreaded noise had come. On a bed of ash she found her enchanted dragon slain, and so too Lancelot, returned to save the kingdom, and by a noble death redeem his name. With her evil plan thwarted, Morgana raged, but her punishment was not yet over, for the wizard Merlin appeared in judgment of her crime. he passed sentence and bound Morgana to a wretched form, proclaiming the sorceress forever cursed to roam a world of her undoing. But in the act of binding such evil, magic had seeped into the very ground upon which they stood. Some say it was a miracle, others a curious fate. But brave Lancelot did draw breath once more. A second life the knight was granted, and so from Camelot's ashes he did rise and devote his sword and self to protect the weak from harm and keep evil forever at bay.
Oh, what a beautiful story, sir.
The illustrations are also exquisite, are they not?
The drawing puts me in mind of someone. A gentleman I met the other night. He even has the same dog.
Maybe Lancelot has come to Whitechapel to banish evil and lead us all to the light.
I should be off, sir.
Good day to you, Mary Jane.
Mr. Leach, is the sleuth hound on the scent?
Why, Mary, have you not heard? The devil has but visited these streets again and claimed another soul.
No.
I knew we had not woken from this nightmare yet. I was not wrong.
Who was she?
Many are reporting the name Civvy.
Mrs. Chapman? Well, she was in the 10 Bells but last night. I left without even speaking to her.
Poor woman. Word has it she were horribly cut, the worst yet.
But it don't make sense. If this leather apron's who they say he is, what would he want with Annie? She never sold herself. Christ, the whole of Whitechapel knows that.
The police would have it different, Mary.
Would they now?
It is my theory this leather apron is but a clever piece of subterfuge by the detective force. They know who the real killer is and hide it from us.
Why would they do such a thing?
What if he's a man of great importance in the world? Man will go to great lengths to hide a scandal, you know. It would not be the first time the powers that be have colluded for such venal reasons.
If you have evidence, you must write it in the paper.
It is evidence that I'm lacking. I travel to Lemon Street this very instant in search of it.
Well, I'm travelling with you and all.
This endeavour isn't without its dangers, Mary.
I'm well acquainted to them, Mr. Leach. Let's go.
There will shortly be a commotion outside. When it occurs, encourage as many of the constables out onto the street as you can.
Where will you be?
By that stage, I hope to be alone in the inspector's room. I won't have long to conduct a search.
Oh, this is fairish bit more dangerous than I had in mind.
There is no turning back now, Mary. Sergeant, I am Mr. Henshaw. I wish to see Inspector Reed in his room at once.
I'm afraid the inspector is on leave, sir.
In that case, I must speak to the officer in charge of this station.
What is it about, sir?
Nothing good, I imagine.
Inspector Aberline. What a surprise.
And by the look on your face, Mr. Leach, not of the pleasant variety.
Leach? He said his name was Henshaw.
You really do develop some nasty habits. Working for that blackguard rag.
That rag is London's best-selling paper.
A lie is still a lie, no matter how popular.
Maybe we can continue this discussion in your room, sir.
Or how about one of the cells, Mr. Leach? If that man ever comes back, escort him out immediately.
A change to our plans. Your turn.
My turn to what?
To talk to the inspector.
Me?
The people deserve to know the truth. You do want the killer brought to justice, no?
Fine.
Dutch carriage.
What is it?
Cocaine.
Nah, you're all right. Inspector, may I speak to you privately, sir?
I'm very busy at present. Sergeant Gully here would be happy to assist you.
It's about the latest murder.
This way. First, let me take some details. Full name.
Barnett. Mary Barnett.
Place of residence.
Wilmot's over on Thrall Street.
Occupation.
I'm sure a clever man like yourself can hazard a guess.
You said you had some information for me.
There was something awfully sad about Annie. If the stories about her were even half true, I don't know how she kept going.
By Christ! Please, stay here. I shan't be long.
Sounds like they're as much in the dark as you, Inspector. What sort of monster does that to someone? So that's the bastard's name. Rubbish. Everyone knows Hanbury Street's where you go to bed down when you ain't got rent. What in the devil's name's this?
Apologies for keeping you waiting.
Sorry, Inspector. I must go.
Miss, if you have knowledge pertaining to last night's crime, you must tell me.
I was mistaken. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. Please, Inspector, let me go.
Mary, I've a note for you. Can't stop. Need to keep on the move. I'm a wanted man.
I take it Aberline did not think you complicit in the ruse?
I'm here, aren't I?
I'm sorry, Mary. The inspector's presence was unforeseen.
What is it about him that gets your hackles up so?
A man like Frederick Aberline represents power, Mary. I exist in direct opposition to that power and hold the Aberlines of this world to account.
Mighty honourable of you, Mr. Leach, but I'm afraid you shan't be holding much to account today.
The distraction did not work?
Oh, it worked. I just didn't find no subterfuge as you spoke of. Their money's on Leather Apron. John Piser's his name. Don't know about you, but slipper makers don't strike me as the important type.
You fall for their lies, Mary.
The inspector don't strike me as the crooked sort is all.
Apply pressure to any man and they will bend. Fred Aberline is no exception.
I just can't imagine him keeping such a dreadful secret.
Speaking of secrets, there's a man rife with them.
Seems harmless enough.
Word has it he's been asking after work.
He seemed pretty flush that night I saw him in here.
Then that is surely a mystery. And one I must leave you to solve alone.
Meeting anyone here, Mary?
Oh, you're still in Whitechapel, Mr. Jenkins. Looking for work, I hear.
We all must earn our keep.
See, now either you got holes in them pockets or someone's had their hands in them.
Wakeful, aren't we?
Have to be round here.
So I am learning.
Ain't just dippers you want to be careful of, sir. People don't like strangers much round here. I seen many taking a hiding they didn't deserve.
It seems Whitechapel does little to inspire faith between its citizens.
Hardly surprising when another turns up with her throat slit.
Do not lose faith. The killer will be found. I am sure of it.
Couple hundred coppers walk these streets and blood is still spilt. I'm beginning to think I'd have better luck.
That would not be wise.
Oh, wouldn't it? What makes you a bleeding expert?
To catch a beast, one must know why it kills.
Or just his name? John Piser. He's the one they're calling Leather Apron.
You know him?
Huh. I know his type. Had dealings with him enough times. As far as they're concerned, women ain't no better than dogs. If you're looking for a why, Mr. Jenkins, you won't find better than that. You think different?
Mrs. Millwood, assailed on the 25th day of February, restored to health and died 6 days later from natural causes. Mrs. Wilson, slain on the 28th day of March, twice stabbed in the throat. The assailant was heard demanding coin. Mrs. Smith, again assailed for coin, this time by several men. She died 2 days later. And lastly, Mrs. Tabram found dead on the 7th day of August, 39 stab wounds to her body. These are savage acts, but wholly separate.
You're forgetting Polly.
With purpose. Whosoever slew Mrs. Nichols had no hand in these earlier crimes. Her wounds stand apart from the others, and it were not for coin.
How did you come by all this?
The newspapers hold much besides gossip and slander. One must take the time to look.
The latest. Annie, Mrs. Chapman. The police say her cuts and the like are the same as Mrs. Nichols. They say something were taken from her.
Taken? What?
It were one of her woman parts.
I must go.
Where to?
I worry Faye has not returned. I shall find her.
I could help.
Good day.
Get you a drink, Mary? What's this? Madam Eves?
Mr. Jenkins was eyeing it. I saw this earlier at the police station.
Doesn't surprise me. Always crackpots offering their services when there's a big mystery to be solved. Load of old rubbish, if you ask me.
Miss Kelly to see you.
My time has a price. One I doubt you can afford.
Didn't know any Negroes had it so good.
Clearly, there is a lot you do not know.
Didn't mean nothing by it, ma'am. I've come for help. Mr. Jenkins recommended you.
I do not know any Jenkins.
Tall, fair hair, up himself. He's got a dog and all. I think he talks to her.
Sit.